live. There
Was
we
that
go.
the
All right.
Oh,
Finally.
hey, it
Hey,
works.
we're back. And we're back for more Uchoose. And tonight's gonna be a little different, Eddie. We're just gonna instead of using teaspoons and tablespoons, we're just grabbing handfuls of ingredients and just throwing it in the pot.
Nope, we're doing poonstees and tablefuls. We don't even know what measurements are in this one.
No, it's the smorgasbord of shepherd's pie. Or it's kind of like hot dogs. You don't ask what's in it.
We're not even we're not even using utensils tonight, kids. We're just using our hands and our faces. We're eating like pigs.
Yes.
Um, the um, the thing we're doing tonight is the thing we talked about. We teased, and I momentarily kind of forgot that we even talked about it. The mashup.
Yes.
We are mashing up two books to form an unholy Uchoose abomination.
Yeah, there you go. It's the Mad Libs for the Choose Your Own Adventure. So the way it's going to work. So normally we would go through a book until we die and then go to another book. But this time we're going to pick a book. We'll start with it. And when we get to a decision in that book and it says go to page 7, we'll go to the second book and go to page 7 on the second book and just see how it works. It's the Mad Libs. It's not going to make any sense.
We are literally like combining. This is the Reese's peanut butter. This is the you got your hyperspace in my return to Cave of Time. You got
No,
your
your cave of time in my hyperspace. Oh, hey, Finn and Lexi are in the chat from Twitch. So by the way, yeah, you can watch live the Uchoose podcast on Facebook, on Twitch, and on YouTube.
listen.
And so when we get to decision point, the viewer will still get to decide where we go. It'll just be a different book.
Listen, if you are watching us live, this is the full Uchoose experience right here, right now.
Yes.
You know, we don't want to discourage people who listen to the show after the fact. If this works for you, that's great too. We love the fact that you listen to us after the fact. However, if you want to add to your enjoyment of the show, you can jump on live with us 8:30 ish tonight between 8:30 and 8:45 Central Standard Time. Every other Monday. We had a hiccup, but life is life.
Yeah.
A couple
Yeah,
times, but for the most part,
yeah, you can make comments in the chat. We usually read most of them. And so, yeah, Finn and Lexi, thanks for being there. We will get started here. So the first book we're going to do is Hyperspace by Edward Packard. And then the second book will be Return to the Cave of Time by Edward Packard. So hang on to your space bag and your space seat. We're going to go to hyperspace.
hang on to your hyper cave of space time.
Exactly. And as always, Macho Man is with us.
Oh, yeah.
It would not be a good episode of this without the Macho Man
Exactly.
coming in. And it wouldn't be a good episode without my cheater glasses as well.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to be back and forth here. So hang on. We're going to get started in the hyperspace. This will be the first book. And
am I starting this one or are you, sir?
I'll go ahead and start this one. 1983, Eddie. Hyperspace. Wow.
83.
Easy.
Man. 40 years ago.
40 years ago. Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
Lee was 10 years old.
Yeah. I was 9, but yes.
No. I was 6.
Oh. All right, Finn, Lexi, hang on. We're going to get started. Ever since Professor Carl Zinka moved into your neighborhood, you've been wanting to meet him. As most 9-year-olds, they want to hang out with old men all the time.
I sure can't wait to hang out with the old professor.
Yes. You've seen him a few times out for a stroll, puffing his white clay pipe, a strange-looking little man with a few stringy hairs on his head and a gray beard cut in the shape of a triangle. People say he's a mathematical genius. You wonder what he does all day. One afternoon, you have a chance to find out, for you happen to be passing his house as he is returning from his walk. Come in. I'm glad to meet you, he says. When you introduce yourself, I've been so busy I haven't had time to call on my neighbors, as one does in 1983. Right?
Oh, dude, seriously, you just got to roll with it.
Yes. Shaking hands, you say, I'm glad to meet you too, Professor. I've been curious about your work. The professor smiles. My work is not easy to describe. Only a few people can understand it. But wait, I'll be right back. The professor hurries into another room, almost tripping over his calico cat. A moment later, he reappears with a book. There's a twinkle in his eye as he hands it to you. Even if you don't understand higher math, I think you'll find this interesting. Would you like to borrow it? You glance at the cover of the book. Its title is Hyperspace.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun. Here we go. Here's the choice. So, if you're listening or watching live, here's where you come in. If you take the book, thank him and leave, turn to page 3. If you stay and talk some more, turn to page 6. So, do we take the book and thank him and leave, or do we stay and talk a little more? So, let us know in the chat where you want us to go, and we will go there.
Now, is the first choice when we stick in the book, or do we move to the new book after the first choice?
Well, so it doesn't matter what choice they pick. We're going to go to the other book. It'll just determine which page we go to.
Perfect.
So let us know in the chat. Otherwise, we can flip the Uchoose coin and make the decision.
So I will move to the new book.
Yeah. While we wait, yeah. Let's go ahead and get the new book. Oh, thank him and leave. Chick. Oh, love the CHIT. So I assume thank him. I'm not sure what that means here.
It means it's an acronym. Choose how it tastes, Carl. Chittick.
Chick-tick. Not sure what that means, Finn and Lexi, but we'll roll with it here. But Al says to thank him and leave. So,
well, what was the other choice? Could it be like a beginning letter of each?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. So, I'm not sure. Well, we'll just assume they're going with Al, I guess. How about that?
So what page is that?
Thank him and leave is page 3 in the cave. Return to the Cave of Time.
So here we go. Page 3. Painfully, you crawl on around a bend. Let me put on my old man glasses. Around a bend to the right, and then one to the left. Somewhere up ahead, a voice is chanting, or is it many voices singing in unison? It's an eerie tune with only 3 or 4 notes. So it's a Green Day song.
Oh, okay.
A moment later, you reach a dimly lighted chamber. A thin, ghost-like figure abruptly stops, singing, and looks at you intently. You can hardly find words, but as if to answer your question before you ask it, the strange man, if he is a man, says, "You have found the Oracle of Time." You are amazed to meet anyone in the cave, much less an oracle. For a moment you are afraid, but as you look more carefully at the oracle, you can't help but smile. His expression is kindly and wise, but there is also a playful, impish look in his eyes. You realize he may be able to tell you some things you've wondered about. What is time, you ask? The oracle is silent for a moment and then says a certain phrase that a wrestler would say. He tells you,
"Oh, yeah!
Time is what keeps everything from happening at once." When did time start, you ask, and when will it end? Would you like to see? You gulp in amazement and say,
Sure.
I was going to click the Macho Man.
Oh, yeah!
I just can't get enough. No, you're fine. Any affirmative, I'm going to invoke the Saint Savage.
Saint Savage. There you go.
You gulp in amazement. Oh, yeah. What then? The beginning? or the end. If
Ah,
you say you want to see the beginning of time, turn to page 11. If you say you want to see the end of time, turn to page 17.
there it is. Beginning or end. Now, the transition there was surprisingly not too bad. We had an old man in the first one,
Yep.
and we still had an old man in the second book.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here.
We like to talk to old people for some reason.
Tell me, old wizened one. Speaking of old wizened ones, Al Garrison's now in the audience as well.
Yeah. So we got Finn and Lexi and Al Garrison. Finn and Garrison.
Al Garrison of Omag Comics fame.
Let's snap into a Slim Jim. Go to the end of time. So we got to go to
page 17, sir.
page 17 in hyperspace. So
well now I'll just stay, since we're kind of going back and forth, I'll just stay on Cave of Time.
Good idea. Oh, Finn and Lexi want to go back to the beginning.
Oh, we got to flip a coin.
No problem. Let's see. Let's grab the Uchoose coin here.
We need like a song, like time for the Uchoose coin.
Oh yeah, we need like a little jingle.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll work on that.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me get the. Why is it not showing up here?
That's what a sneeze button is for, kids.
Yes, we always need the sneeze button. Okay. All right. So heads beginning, tails end. Maybe. Come on. Why isn't it working?
Your coin won't even flip. This concept is so broken.
Jeez. Okay. Let me reload it here.
I got a real coin here if we want to just do that.
You do? Yeah, just do a real one then.
Heads for beginning, tails for end. As I flip it, maybe invoke Saint Savage.
Saint Savage. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got tails.
So we're going to the end, everybody.
End of time, page 17.
All right. So let me get back here.
Into my sinuses with this allergy season.
Kidding. All right. Okay. So there is no 17. So we'll go to 16.
There's no 17?
Only a picture.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
That's good enough. Police headquarters, a brisk voice answers. Officer, my neighbor, Professor Zinka, just called. He said something was wrong. Then I think the phone went dead. You give the address and wait outside. It's only a few minutes before a squad car pulls up and two policemen get out. You are leading them toward the professor's door when he comes stumbling out of the house. Professor, you run toward him. Are you all right? He shakes his head. None of us is all right.
Ooh.
The hole I punctured has connected us to a hostile universe. I tried to stop the flow, but it's too late. One of the officers steps forward and takes the professor gently by the arm. I think you've been working too hard, Professor. Why don't you come along with us to the hospital? The other policeman adds. Maybe you ought to check in for a few days. It does seem as if the professor has lost his mind, but something about his face tells you he's not crazy. Just a moment, you say to the officers. Professor, what do you mean by a flow from a hostile universe? Look, he points toward the house. You stand there, open mouth, trying not to believe your eyes. The professor's house is silently crumbling into a pile of ash because it's getting old. Turn to page 51. Right. We did travel in time, just a different way, maybe. Get out of here. One of the policemen pushes you ahead of him toward the squad car. Come on, Professor. You dive into the car. One of the officers shoves the professor in next to you. The other starts the engine. Then you turn and gasp as you watch trees, bushes, and another house dissolve into dust. I can't believe it, cries the driver, and it's spreading. Page 45. We're all over.
Man.
R14, we have a serious emergency. The other cop is on the radio. Yes, it's spreading, says the professor, and there's no way to stop it. There is no cohesion of matter in the universe that is leaking into ours. We take it for granted that things hold together, but the alien laws of a formless and shapeless universe are overwhelming us. The nuclear force that holds molecules together is going. Look at that car. It just turned to dust. The officer at the wheel seems paralyzed with fear. The other officer grabs him by the shoulder. We've got to block off this area. I like how they're still following protocol.
We gotta stop matter's unraveling at the fundamental level of time and space, but we gotta set up some blockades.
I can't get another, complaint against me. I already got 2 strikes.
I won't get my pension.
I can't get. Yeah, it's no use, says the professor. His voice is hollow. There's no way of stopping it. Even if we could get to the moon, it wouldn't help. Our entire universe is doomed. The driver seems hypnotized by the sight of houses, cars, and trees silently turning to dust. Suddenly, a gust of wind sweeps the dust up into a whirling gray cloud. Step on the gas, you cry. We've got to get out of... ... The end. Wow. That was a quick ending.
That's what we get for trying to get to the end of time.
I guess. So we get the... we didn't do so well.
That was bad. we lived 15 minutes.
I know, but that's a good thing. We can go back.
Try it again. So now we're going to start with the... This just brings out joy. Now,
when we die,
we'll go back to the beginning of Cave of Time, correct?
Yeah. So we'll start with the Cave of Time.
Okay,
and
there we go.
Decision point in the Cave of Time. We'll go back to hyperspace.
I like this. This is a fun concept.
Yes.
Here we go.
Al has joy in our death.
He does. We already died once by being turned into like subatomic dust. By the way,
almost a Star Trek episode there.
It's so good. Your heart races as you make your way through Snake Canyon, looking for the entrance to the Cave of Time. Though it's a sunny summer day, you're wearing a warm sweater under your all-weather parka because we plan ahead.
Yeah, we're all weather. We're
as well as wool. I'm not playing. This is time.
Yeah.
As well as wool socks and pants. You don't know where you'll turn up once you've entered the cave, but you want to be ready for anything. That's why you brought a gun. Finally, you reach the familiar grove of pine trees, but your hopes fade as you realize that landslides have covered the cave's main entrance. Determined not to give up, you search the floor of the canyon until you find, hidden behind clumps of sage, another barely passable entrance. Crawling on hands and knees, you enter a tunnel that, judging by its direction, should lead to the main chamber. The tunnel seems endless and keeps curving to one side, as if it might be going around in a circle. After a half hour of crawling, you feel a tightening of the muscles in your throat, the beginning of panic. There's not enough room to turn around. You're not even sure you can back out. Turn to page 3. Painfully, you crawl on, around a bend to the right and then one to the left. Somewhere up ahead, a voice is chanting, or is it many voices singing in unison? It's an eerie tune with only 3 or 4 notes. A moment later, you reach a dimly lighted chamber. A thin, ghost-like figure abruptly stops singing and looks at you intently. You can hardly find words, but as if to answer your questions before you ask it, the strange man, if he is a man, says,
judging,
you have found the Oracle of Time. I like this. This feels very like time travel-y already.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're just doing it again.
Very much.
You are amazed to meet anyone in the cave, much less an oracle. For a moment, you are afraid, but as you look more carefully at the oracle, you can't help but smile. His expression is kindly and wise, but there is also a playful, impish look in his eyes. You realize he may be able to tell you some things you've wondered about. What is time, you ask? The oracle is silent for a moment, but then answers in a firm voice. Time is what keeps everything from happening at once. When did time start, you ask, and when will it end? Would you like to see? You gulp in amazement and say...
Oh,
there it goes.
oh yeah!
I'm never getting tired of it.
Yeah.
What then? The beginning or the end. If
So
you say beginning, 11, end, 17.
yeah, we've done this before.
We've
Seems
been
a
here
little
before.
familiar. Hey,
We've
Eddie,
been
you can't
here
see it.
before.
So for the illustration, we're wearing a parka and we have that wool turtleneck. But I guarantee you, under that parka, we have a belt and our shirt is tucked in. Guaranteed.
It's tucked in, dude. Now we need to invoke Uchoose protocol here because if we choose the end, we're going to just die again in the other book.
You're right. Because we went to the beginning at page 11, didn't we?
No, we went to the end, page 17.
The end, yeah, 17.
And there was no 17, so we went to page 16 and so on and so forth.
Good catch.
So we
we're gonna
have to go to the beginning.
Yeah, because we don't want to repeat. Nobody wants to do the same thing twice.
We're invoking the one you choose protocol we will enact. We cannot repeat a past decision.
Oh, so we're gonna go to page 11 in
As
hyperspace.
much as it would bring Al joy to see us die the same way twice.
Yeah, Al just when he watches a movie, he just rewinds it and goes to the death scenes over and over again.
He does. He does. He has a supercut of movies where it's all death scenes.
80s death scenes from like every movie.
Yeah.
All right. So we're at page 11. Obviously, says the professor, he didn't make it. He pauses a moment, unless it was I who didn't make it, and we're still here, and it's one of you who came from another universe. So how can we tell which of us is from the other universe, you ask? The professor pulls his triangular beard. You should go outside and look around for differences. To one of you, things will look exactly the same. The other will notice that some things are different because it's unlikely that the two universes are exactly the same. Do you want to come with me? Asked the other you. You're confused. Is this really happening? Or is the professor playing a trick on you? Maybe he's hypnotized you. All right. So we don't get one choice or two choice. We get three choices here, everybody. If you decide to go exploring with the other you, turn to page 56. If you decide that you're in another universe and that you should reactivate the hypo laser and try to get back to your own universe, turn to page 5. If you decide that you're still in your own universe and that you'll just walk out and go home, turn to page 24. So, page 56, page 5, or page 24. Let us know in the chat.
The first choice has problems. I don't know if you have any combat music in our soundboard, but this goes with my paranormal dads on the other podcast that I help produce. One of the three. The protocol is if you come across a clone of yourself, you have to instantly fight.
Kill yourself.
You're just like you're at the store.
Some lasers.
There you go.
Some lasers. Some slaps.
There you go. There you go. That's good clone fighting sounds. You're at the grocery store. You're looking at the frozen peas, and you look up, and right from across from you, looking at like a jar of gravy, is an exact duplicate of you. And you're like, and for a second, you're like, what do I do? And that clone is thinking the same thing. And the next second, you're fighting to the death. You're just smashing each other in the face in a grocery store.
You're pushing your other self's face into a bucket of peanut butter or potato salad.
You either have a calm, rational discussion, like, look, we could probably live in this universe, but we cannot be running around together. You know?
No. Can't be Marty McFly.
Or we fight to the death right here.
Exactly. It is unanimous in the chat, Eddie. Finn and Lexi say go home, and Al says go home.
Home indeed. Home it is. What page was home?
Let's see. You just want to walk out and go. I suppose 24 would be go home.
Page 24 in the Cave of Time.
Oh, Mark from Australia is back in the chat.
There is no page 24 or 23, so we'll go to page 25.
25. Yeah, Mark's in the chat from Australia.
Good old Mark.
He's usually at work when we do this.
I know, right? He's probably at work now. Don't get him in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here, Mark.
All right. Mark, we're doing a mashup episode today where we're literally flopping back and forth between choices in the book. So it's just kind of like a multiverse Uchoose tonight.
Yes. Page 24, right?
Yep, here we go. Well, page 25 in this case because things are nuts. A few days later, the Bounty reaches Tahiti. You marvel at the beautiful green mountains jutting out of the sea and the long arc of white sandy beach fringed with coconut trees. A fleet of tiny boats is headed for the ship. You stand transfixed at the rail, watching the boats, the smiling faces and upreached hands. Suddenly, Fletcher Christian collars you. "Lock the stowaway in my old cabin," he orders one of the men. Turning to you, he says, "I don't trust you not to tell about what happened out there." And you're confused. Like, where's the professor?
Where did the professor go? It must be in that multiverse.
A sailor leads you by the arm and locks you in the first mate's cabin. Through the porthole, you can see the beautiful island and even smell the fragrant scent of jasmine wafting across the water. The porthole is too small for an adult to climb through, but you might fit through if you wait until nighttime. You might be able to climb out unnoticed, dive overboard, and swim to shore. The island doesn't look that far away, but you don't know how strong the currents are. Besides, how can you be sure a shark won't get you? We can be positive we won't turn into one.
Yeah,
I know that.
We'll never be a shark. But
if you decide to wiggle through the porthole and try to swim to shore, turn to page 12. If you stay on the ship, turn to page 53.
All right.
To swim to shore or to stay on the ship.
Stay on the ship or swim to shore.
And a big hello to Mark.
Yes, Mark. Yeah, we're doing well. I'm glad you got to be.
We got to give Mark. We got to give Mark a good old Saint Savage welcome here.
Oh yeah!
You knew where I was going. There it is.
Hey, Eddie, if we get eaten by a shark, is that close enough to being a shark? Because you're being a shark because you're being digested.
I mean, technically, we will become part of the shark by being absorbed into his nutrients. So I would say yes.
Yeah, so you could become a shark if
you become shark poop.
Oh, so Mark says, take our chances in the sea. So swim for it. Al says, swimming never killed anybody.
Sure.
And Finn and Lexi say, oh my gosh, all three.
Have we ever had a unanimous vote like that before?
Maybe,
no,
but
it's rare.
Really rare.
That deserves some applause. You got some applause in there? We need to give some people some applause. Good job. All right. Good job, everybody. Proud of yourself.
Means page 12. So good job, everybody. We're going to page 12 on hyperspace. All right. This is a good one. There's a terrible urgency in the professor's voice, and you lunge at the lever. Instantly, you're paralyzed by an electric charge that floods the room with quivering light. The two of you crumple to the floor. You feel as if every ounce of your strength has been drained from your body. Finally, the burst of electricity dies away and the eerie lights fade. Several minutes pass before the professor is able to pull himself together and inspect his instruments. Then he walks over and helps you to your feet. We stopped it. We sealed the hole to a hostile universe. If you hadn't come when you did, it would have been all over. Not only for us, but for the Earth and even for our universe. You hardly know what to believe. Is the professor a genius or is he crazy? I think I'd better get home now, you say, or I'll be late for dinner. I love it. So we just saved the universe. And you're like, I think I need to go home and get dinner.
Yeah. Priorities.
Yeah, exactly. I'm grateful for your help, the professor says. He shakes your hand again and again. More grateful than I can say. Someday I'll repay you for what you've done. Page 35.
Did we get electrocuted?
I think so. I think we used our body as a conductor.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's what 9-year-olds do in the 80s.
Well, Mom said use your head for more than a hat rack, so I'll just become a conductor for highly deadly electricity. How's that sound?
Exactly.
Mom.
Good job.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah. Are you proud of me now?
No.
Several months go by. Yeah.
No, never.
Several months go by without any sign of the professor. You often wonder where he is and what he's up to. You miss seeing him strolling along his walk. On the other hand, his experiments were pretty scary, and in a way, you're glad that he's gone. Still, you're delighted when a large package wrapped in heavy brown paper arrives in the mail. The return address reads Professor Carl Zinka, Spica Laboratories, Khartoum, Alberta, Canada. Eagerly, you rip open the envelope and envelope pasted on the box. As you guessed, it's a letter from the professor. Turn to page 42. My old young friend, I've settled here permanently and will not be returning to the United States for a long time, but I haven't forgot to repay you for what you did. Inside this box is a small round bottle made of unbreakable glass of my own design. The bottle has a cap that will open if you turn it 14 times. Its contents could be worth a fortune. Do you remember when we sealed off the hole and stopped the leakage of hyperspace into our universe? After you left, I realized that some hyperspace, specifically a gaseous substance subject to the laws of gravity of another universe, had gotten into the lab. Using a polarizing diffractor, I was able to trap it in 2 bottles. I've kept one. The other is in the box you hold. If the bottle is open and hyperspace is allowed to mix with the air, the laws of gravity in the vicinity of the bottle will be radically altered. By holding onto the bottle, you could become weightless. You would rise above the treetops and drift across the countryside as if you were riding on a balloon. Gradually,
How would it be altered?
What's that?
How would it be altered again?
Let's see.
Radically, I think it's.
There we go.
Radical.
Radical, dude.
Gradually,
Gradually, yes, it is the 80s. Gradually, hyperspace would evaporate and you would drift to the ground. This bottle can only be used once. Since its effects may be dangerous, I suggest you save it for a very special occasion. Sincerely, Professor Carl Zinka. All right, 68. This is a long one this time.
we are.
Staying in hyperspace. All right. Here we go. Decision point. You waste no time in opening the box and tossing layer after layer of plastic bubble wrap on the floor until you find the small round bottle. You stare at it for a long time. But of course, there's not much to see. It's baffling. How can you be sure the bottle contains anything but air? When you're ready to use it, you may find that it's a fraud. Or from what you know of Professor Zinka, it might be even more powerful than the letter says. Instead of lifting you gently over the treetops, it could carry you into the stratosphere, where you die from the lack of oxygen. What should you do with the bottle of hyperspace? Okay, here we go, everybody. I know what Jesse's going to say. Go to the saloon, right?
The hyperspace saloon.
Saloon, yeah. If you open it, just to prove to yourself that there is really nothing in the bottle, turn to page 81. If you decide to save it, turn to page 88. So, do we open it or do we save it? Oh, yeah, Jesse. Save it for a hyperspace leaky day. Ha, ha, ha. All right, let us know in the chat. Do we save it or do we open it? But yeah, I like how we're getting letters from and packages from the professor and just waiting
He bottled a transdimensional force.
Yeah, just I'm gonna stick this in a bottle. I got a Coke bottles in the back here. I'll grab one.
If I've learned anything from 80s movies, you drink it. Whatever's in that bottle, you chug it.
Oh, so we got to vote for Pop the Cork from Mark. Finn and Lexi said save it. And then Al says no better time than the present. So
we are split again.
Well, say portable hole.
Exactly.
So we got one vote for open, one vote for save it, and then another vote for open. So
and then one save it. Al and Mark say go for it. Jesse and Finn and Lexi said save it.
Oh, did they? Okay.
So it's 2-2.
So grab your quarter there, Eddie.
Here we go, everybody.
Heads.
We'll go heads.
Save it. Or heads, we save it. And tails, we save it.
So all right, here we go. I'll need some sound effects for this. Whatever you think is appropriately.
Let me- How about this?
That's perfect. We got again Tails.
Tails. Oh, so we save it.
Save the juice.
So that's
What was
page
the 88?
88 on the Cave of Time.
All right, 88 Cave of Time.
88 was great.
Again, not looking great. It's a illustration, and it's not looking so good. We'll go to page 89 on this one.
Okay.
To your relief, the tribe takes you in.
Oh,
Right?
boy.
That's what you get when you do when we do a multiverse.
Yes.
Though you despair of ever mastering their strange language, you are able to learn to hunt and fish and gather food. You make friends with almost everyone in the tribe. In fact, there is only one Neanderthal who makes you uneasy. Vor is a boy about your age who likes to come up and jab you with a stick and call you names you can't understand. Was Al Garrison a Neanderthal?
He is.
The Neanderthals are generally peaceable and easygoing people, and the adults don't seem to know what to make of Vor. When he jabs or taunts you, they turn their eyes and look the other way. You just can't do that. You can't let bullying go on.
No, you gotta stop it.
One day, while you are picking cloudberries,
Berries? Space berries.
space berries, high on the cliffs that border the river, Vor jabs you so hard you almost fall to your death. You turn on him, but he throws down his stick and stands feet apart, ready for battle. Oh, Vor. Do we gotta stab a Vor?
I think we might have
Do
to.
we have to go and show him what we do to friends and Uchoose?
Yes, I think we're gonna have to.
You know
Or
what
he's- Do to us, I think what we do on our cover. Why are we always near a cliff?
I know, always a cliff. You know,
Yeah.
we're about to show Vor what we do to our friends' backs. And the Neanderthals are much stronger than modern humans, and you know you haven't a chance in hand-to-hand combat. You just walk away and return to camp. He may not be as strong as you, but we know things they don't know. You could
exactly.
stab an eyeball in, rip an ear off.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was just thinking about this. We can't invoke the choose your own adventure rule about stabbing in the back because Vor isn't our friend. We only stab our friends.
Oh, you're right. We only
Yeah.
betray trust. We can't fight enemies. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. One evening soon afterward, the chief calls everyone around the fire and begins a long speech. You have trouble making out what he's saying, but the gist of it seems to be this. The reindeer are leaving, heading east on their annual migration. Food will be scarce here, and the tribe must pack up and follow the herd. One member of the tribe, a young man named Azog, has made a raft. He has decided to use it to journey down the river in search of better land. Two others, Larga and her daughter, Me, that's going to get confusing.
Yeah.
You know, hey, Me, you?
Me.
No, her.
Me.
Me? Yeah, no, you. Her?
Me.
It's me.
So confusing.
Me is a girl about your age whom you like very much. The chief speaks of how he will miss Azog, Larga, and Me, and he wishes them good luck. Looking at you, he adds,
Ugson.
Glad you're gone.
Get out!
Ugson means translated, go to the saloon.
Means get a job. Get a job, you bum. Yeah, exactly. Jesse, you like me? Surely you've taken a correspondence karate class.
I know.
Not against Neanderthals.
No.
You understand. Again, he tells you, ugh! You understand.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, cool.
I
You
took
look
a-
at you're like, hey.
Hey.
You understand. You must decide whether to go with the tribe and follow the reindeer migration, or whether to join Azog, Larga, and Me on a which is once again confusing. You, the narrator? No,
No,
me. On a raft trip down the river into the land of the unknown.
Ooh.
If you decide to go with the tribe, turn to page 65. If you decide to go down the raft, turn to page 4.
All right. So,
Raft or tribe and the grand choices of life.
yes. And I noticed that. So we like the girl a lot. So she's perfect to put a knife in the back. That's somebody you go after.
Exactly. That's a perfect knife storage unit right there.
I yes, I really like you. Here, take this knife. Yeah, Neanderthal judo was my minor in correspondence college. Oh wow. Okay, so it's unknown. How did they know about it? Yeah, if it's
Don't be
unknown,
bringing logic into this.
come on. Yeah, it's the land of the unknown.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, so Mark says, yeah, funny. We can't show me how tough we are while you're with your tribe. Take the raft. Yeah. Exactly.
So we're gonna go with me. You? No. Her.
Oh.
What? You said me. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm kind of invested in this, but we can't. We have to go back to hyperspace on this one.
So I guess it's raft. Is that right?
It's raft, page 4.
4. Okay, so we're going to page 4 in hyperspace. Yeah, you're right. I was like, I kind of want to see how this one
We'll have to read this one straight out next time. We'll have to get to that choice. This reminds me of the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah, I haven't
Where
watched
we're
that
just
yet.
like oh, you haven't?
Yeah, I know what it's about.
You gotta
Yeah.
watch it though.
There's another one called Sliding Doors that
Mhm.
Gwyneth Paltrow did, I think, back in the early 2000s. It
Oh,
shows 2 different timelines and how they
Yeah.
correspond. Yeah. Anyway, the implications of hyperspace are staggering. The book continues. Not only are there other dimensions that we cannot perceive though they govern our destiny, but there are infinite numbers of universes, each of them as complex as our own. And traveling in hyperspace is the only way to reach them. Strangest of all, these other universes do not always lie somewhere far beyond our own. They may exist around and within us. The most important scientific question of today is this: can we enter hyperspace? Can we reach another universe? Just then the phone rings and you put your book aside and answer it. Hello, I'm glad I caught you. The voice sounds like Professor Zinkas. Professor, is that you? Yes, I want to warn you not to come near my house. Something's gone wrong with my experiment. Turn to page 23. Jesse,
Now,
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Jesse, instead of reading 2 stories straight tonight, we're reading 2 books, but we already did one. Basically, in one book, when it says go to a page or choose a thing, and you choose it, we switch books and go to the next book and read that page. So we already died in the first 15 minutes, and so now we're on to the second read through where we're alternating books. So if we're in one book and it says turn to page 4, or if we make a choice that says that, we go to the other book and go to that page. So we're literally universe hopping. He's calling it Uchoose ADHD. Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And you are taking crazy pills. Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Always. All right. 23. What happened, you ask? I thought I would be able to enter hyperspace. Instead, my molecular structure has started to break down. It's as if hyperspace has entered me. There is a click at the other end of the phone, leaving you surprised and uneasy. You wonder if you should go to the professor's house and see whether he's all right, or if you ought to call the police. All right, here we go, everybody. If you run to the professor's house and knock on his door, turn to page 22. If you call the police, turn to page 16. All right, so do we go to the professor's house ourselves and knock on the door, or do we call the police? Yeah. Can I take them at the saloon? Yeah, sure. Why not? Or in a shark or in a park. We're going to be
could not be a shark. What's the our page options? I'm going to start advancing to them.
22 or 16.
Okay, that's good.
Time 22 or 16. So let us know in the chat. Do we go to the professor's house and knock on his door, or do we call the police? Al says there's no need to involve the police. They'll just ask questions.
That's
Finn
true.
Legacy, check on him. So I assume check on the professor.
Yep.
So
we're split there.
So 2 votes for page 22 so far. So I think Go to the professor. He'll make something out of hyper. Yeah. So we got
It's true.
3 votes for the professor. And yeah, oh, I see. I just got that one. The Gilligan's Island. I was just commenting. Yeah. You read a phrase just like Thurston Howell the Third there a little while ago. Like, I do say, boy.
I do say, my good boy, that this should be
Lubby, get my money.
confusing when I have to kill a Neanderthal around here.
All right. So page 22 in the Cave of Time.
22. Get my short. The two of you follow the trail back towards Uncle Howard's ranch. This is so bonkers. This is so like channel changing.
Yes.
It's only a mile or so until you reach the road. You watch with amusement as Lark gasps at the sight of a trailer truck going by. You haven't seen anything yet, Lark. You're really going to like TV and computers and jet planes. Oh, no, it's Eark. Yeah, Eark.
Eark. Yeah.
Eark grins at you. Snooyark! The end.
The end.
Oh yeah!
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills now.
Yeah. What am I looking at?
We should almost apologize for this concept to our viewers tonight. We thought we'd do a mashup.
So Jesse says hyperspace Neanderthal judo rafting was my boyhood dream.
There you go. There you go. Listen, you're going to go to other podcasts that read something straightforward. We thought, how fun would it be to not read them independently, but mix them together and have the choice of the other one? It's actually quite fun.
Finn and Lexi, at least we didn't die. So, I mean, yeah, I agree.
We got to give Finn and Lexi a Saint Savage approval there as well.
Oh yeah!
We didn't die, much to Al's sadness. He's probably right now not very happy.
Mark says, I don't remember eating strange mushrooms today, but here we are.
Listen, we thought we would play it with it. We're like, hey, we read 2 books usually. What if we just kind of mushed them together and look at this? It was kind of fun. Hopefully, we may not do this all the time, but it makes it kind of fun.
No, it was just something totally different. So, but yeah,
Jesse, it's not fun. An ending.
Not a real ending. Well, and that's why I try to pick them. This is well, yeah, of course Al's disappointing.
I know.
We die.
He's only happy if we're a smoldering corpse.
Yes, exactly. We almost fell off a cliff, so we were close there. He would have enjoyed that drop to death. So, yeah, we might do this. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And just
maybe towards the holidays again. Maybe we take the Halloween and maybe like towards Halloween we do a Nightmare Before Christmas and mix up the Halloween one and the Christmas one.
The Christmas. Oh yeah, that'd be great. We might have to try that. So, at least the sweet release of death is an ending.
Oh, Jesse can't wait to die in these books just to get it over with. Here, this is an ending that Al will find more fitting. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Slowly and horribly dying as a bear tears us apart. That's Al's true dream. Or actually being torn apart by a bear while falling off a cliff and you're on fire.
Yeah. Into a shark.
Into the mouth of a shark.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
that's the title of our next book.
Oh, you're on fire. Yeah. So, all right. Well, hey, thank you everybody in the chat. Always makes it a lot more fun when you have more people there. You can go to uchoosepodcast.com, check out previous episodes and find out if we ever became a shark or not. And you can also find out the 100 ways to die in the Uchoose podcast. So, all right.
And everyone watching tonight, if you'd like, send us your address and I'd be more than happy to send you some Uchoose sticker pack as a thank you for joining us. I have a ton of stickers. We're trying to kind of get ready for the holidays and get some new stickers in there. So I figure let's just share some love. If you'd like some stickers, send us your address. I know, Mark, you're in Australia. Let's just get you some stickers, dude. Anyway.
Exactly. yeah, just reach out to us on social media. We're on Twitter. You can send us a message there, Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah,
whatever. And just send us your address and we'll get them to you, and tell your friends about it. But
Please
we'll try to
do.
do this in 2 weeks, and stay tuned. We might do this again. We might do something else. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
And until
All right.
then,
you choose the adventure. See you, everybody.
good night, everybody. The stickers will never get through.